Insurance Trading 101. All right? Number one, add value by doing a what? F&A. Okay, we do F&As. Okay, we are not from the East Coast. We are in Primerica in the West Coast, and we do F&As. We are not from other cities in Primerica, okay? We do F&As. Every single client that we sit down with, we require that you do an F&A for that client. And I've been checking lately, by the way, all right? So we're going to be checking. As a matter of fact, what we're going to start doing is we're going to start posting the numbers of F&As that you actually do. So when you do an F&A, it shows up on Primerica Online on my report. I know whether, so you can tell me you're doing F&As, but if you're not doing F&As, I'll know you're not doing F&As. Are you guys following me? Right. All right? So you need to add value. Because look, I don't want to be a life insurance agent. I want to be a financial person that really adds value to somebody's life to try to help them have a better financial life. Isn't that what you want? Yes. Right? I don't want to just be selling life insurance. Okay? So always do an F&A. So this is what our F&A looks like. Okay, that's page number 1. All we are professional information gatherers. Isn't that what we really do? Isn't that how you really sell life insurance? Is you just ask information, and then they'll tell you what they actually want. And since they tell you what they actually want, you can give it to them. So just ask them questions. Don't make this overly complicated. I swear to you, Sarah, it's the easiest thing you'll ever do. I mean that, okay? This is the easiest thing you'll ever do. I know it looks like it looks complicated. It really, all it is, Andrew, it's asking information. That's all it is. Okay? So don't get intimidated by that. It's just you're just asking them their monthly income, their assets, their retirement. Finding out how much they can set aside, their college education. You're asking about their debt, their goals and dreams, and then you get down here. And it says, if something were to happen to you, would you want the family to have a higher standard of living, BJ, lower, or remain at least the same? Higher. Everybody says higher, or at least the same. So it makes our job easy. Doesn't it make our job easy? Yes. So because if they say higher, then I know they are interested in what? Life insurance. So I don't have to make this complicated. I don't have to guess. I don't have to try to hard close them. I don't have to try to, like give them all these techniques and stuff. I just ask them, hey, look, you want to hire staff? And then so the next question I ask them is, how much you got? Now, if they say nothing, then they know there's a problem. I don't have to tell them there's a problem. They know there's a problem. I mean, I'm sure they're smart enough to know. They just told me they want their family at a better standard of living. Now they don't have life insurance. I'm sure they're smart enough to know that, hey, look, their family's not going to get a better life, a higher standard of living if they don't have life insurance. Would everybody guess that? Yeah. When every one of you were sold life insurance by Primerica, when the agent came and sat down with you, this is what a lot of them probably asked you, yes or no? Yes. And if you didn't have life insurance before, you were smart enough to go, wait a minute, how am I going to get a better standard of living if I don't have any life insurance? How's that going to happen? That's why this is critical that you do this. Are you overinsured or underinsured right now? Let them tell you. If you're underinsured, your family's at risk, how does that make you feel? It doesn't make me feel good. Okay? It's okay if we get them to say, it doesn't make me feel good. What happens to your group employer coverage if or when you leave your job? So that's helping us overcome the challenge of group life insurance. Generally, this is lost if you lose your job. Or you get an extended illness or anything like that, okay? If not insured, when a responsible family like yours doesn't have life insurance, it's usually due to one of these reasons. Number one, you didn't see a need for it. Number two, you didn't think you could afford it. Number three, you just maybe didn't get around to it, okay? So when I say that allows me to see into their brain. So I'm asking them those questions. They said, and so Steve says, well, I just never got around to it. So in my mind, I don't have to really sell too hard. he already knows he needs it, and he already wants to probably do it now if I can give him something that makes sense, right? So I don't have to sell. I don't have to talk too much. I don't have to give too much information. I don't have to make this a 3-hour appointment, do I? I can kind of keep it simple, right? So, but now if he says, I just didn't think that I could afford it, so now again, I don't have to, this is not that difficult. He says, I didn't think I could afford it, so what does that mean? That means that he actually wants life insurance, doesn't he? Right. He just didn't think he could afford it. So if I can give him something, now I don't have to say anything. But in my mind, I'm thinking, if I can give him something that he can afford, which I know I can do, because our insurance is very affordable, if I know I can do that, then I don't have to oversell. I don't have to use a bunch of techniques. I don't have to talk for 3 hours. It makes my job easy. Now, if he says I didn't see a need for it, well, then now I know that I really got to educate him on life insurance, don't I? Okay? Now, maybe what I'll do, hey, in modern technology, awesome, right? I love modern technology. You know why? Because I have crusade stories on my iPad. So on my iPad, I'll play him a little video right there and say, hey, this is why you need life insurance. Look at what happened to this family. Maybe grab their heart a little bit. Okay? That's why I'll make sure that I'll make sure absolutely I'll do the foundation for them, right? So if I do the foundation, teach them about life insurance, teach them about the need for it, protecting their family's financial future, all that stuff, I'm going to go in there and educate them why life insurance is important for all families. And if I can get their agreement on that, if I can create that need for them and create that value for them, and make them feel like the security is there for them, then they'll probably go ahead. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. That's why this is like almost one of my favorite things to ask when somebody doesn't have life insurance, because it gives me all the answers. Okay. So would you say that it's unimportant, important, or very important to properly protect your family's financial future? Get the answer, right? Are we in agreement that any plan we develop, Steve, that we develop must, take care of that need, right? If something happens, right? If I put together something, we should probably make sure that is definitely taken care of. Would you agree? Yes. So I get that. Again, these are all what we call minor closes. You got that, Jose? So they're just all the little closes. They're all the little yeses. If you can get a lot of little yeses, ultimately, you're going to get the big yes at the end. Are you with me? Yeah. Okay, so get all the little yeses. That's why we got at Virginia ask a lot of questions. Questions. Okay, let them talk. Let them answer. Let them confirm that they want to do business with you. Let them confirm that they're going to do it, that they're going to take action, okay? So if you have another policy, why did you buy the policy? Protection, savings, or both? If you were to change the benefits, what are you most interested in? Lower cost, more protection, more savings? What is your relationship with the agent that sold you the life insurance? So if it says my friend, now we know how to overcome that, don't we? We just heard that from Jeff right now, okay? Cost of auto insurance, auto company, all that stuff, and then of course I'm going to find out do they have a bad past medical history, so I'm going to know how to quote them. So this just kind of gives you an idea on the F&A and why you need to do the F&A, why it's so critically important, and so anyway, okay. So number 2, add value by doing a budget sheet. Okay. So this is a budget sheet. By the way, every one of you should have a budget sheet just like this. One of these days I'm going to have everybody bring in their budget sheets in class, so that way we can see that everybody's doing it. This is one of the most, this is honestly, this is how I became financially independent, right here. Because I knew where all my money was going. I still do. I know where all my money's going. I am completely organized when it comes to my finances. So it's very difficult for me to overspend in certain areas because I already know where my money's going. It's very difficult for me it's very difficult for me to pay a bill late or to have something, even when I wasn't making a lot of money. It was very difficult for things to go wrong financially for me because I was so organized financially. Okay, so this is the mortgage, the countrywide. This is just a sample client, but this is I've done these for clients. I don't do this for every client. But if you tell me you don't have enough if you tell me you can't afford something or you can't set aside money, if you tell me that, then we're going to do one of these. Now we may just do it on the back of the F&A input sheet. Doesn't mean it has to be in an Excel spreadsheet that first night. I'll just write it, tell me where what do you pay here, what do you pay here, what do you pay, and then I'll find out whether or not he's really at zero or not. Because the truth is, contrary to what Jeff Fieldstad just said, if the client has $3,000 going out, in bills and only bringing in $2,500, I don't want his business because that's a chargeback. You know what I mean? That's a chargeback waiting to happen. So again, now if it's close, if it's $3,000 and $2,800 he makes, maybe we could find the difference. But man, if you have a big difference like that, there might not be anything you can do for that client. And then you respectfully say thank you very much for your time, and then you leave and go see somebody else. Some people just cannot be helped because their income is too low to take care of what they need to take care of, okay? Now, if I go through this, though, with them, and I take it to the next level, we really, really analyze it, and I find out all these different things that maybe they should get rid of, maybe we got a good situation going here. Are you guys following me? Yeah. Right? Maybe there is. Maybe we can do something for this client. Yes, sir.
Real quick, Coach, in that situation where the expenses are more than the income coming in, if you do the budget worksheet and maybe we have a debt product that could help them, we still could probably go with it, knowing that they'll go with the debt product to reduce their debt.
Absolutely. Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. But this is just that first step to identify where they're at. But yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if we can get them in the debt product and get them out of, save a bunch of money monthly or whatever, that's of course money that we're going to be able to throw back on the table. Good point there. All right. And by the way, this is how I did it. Is that every month I would check off the boxes. So it was almost like a game, Letty. It was a game for me. I wanted to pay off my bills as quickly as I possibly could. That's how you become a full-time agent in Primerica, by the way. Is you got to pay off your bills as quickly as you can early on in the month. So that way, at the end of the month, you have money to save and to put in your emergency accounts. Okay? So you use a budget sheet just like this, and you just check it off. Okay, October. Okay, bam, check it off, 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 check it off. And I would just go down the line trying to pay things off. And I would pay things early, and if I had a little bit extra money, I would overpay it. And if I had a little bit extra money, I would pay it 2 months ahead. That's how security conscious I was. Because when you go full-time and you don't have a lot of money, and you're just trying to get this thing going, you got to make sure that you're ahead of the game. So I always tried to stay ahead. And then when I started making a lot more money, I did the same thing. And then that's how we were able to save up our down payment to buy our little condo. And then we bought the little condo, and then I just kept doing it. And then I would leave myself with almost no money. So I lived like the poorest person in the world, but I was making money. You with me? And I was starting to make money, starting to do good, but I still lived below my means. Like Art Williams told me to, so I said, all right, I'm coachable, I'm going to do that. I'm going to live below my means. I don't need this, I don't need fancy that, I don't need to impress people here. I just need to live below and just keep socking away money. Stay ahead, pay all my bills ahead of time. So sometimes I would have my bills paid up 2 or 3 months in advance, so I would have less stress. And I would be able to focus on my business and focus on making more money and building my business and be able to not look at every person as a dollar bill to me. Does that make sense? Because you don't want that. You don't ever want to feel like you need an override. You don't ever want to feel like when you're sitting across the kitchen table, you don't ever want to feel like you gotta make that sale like do or die. Does that make sense? You don't want that feeling. Now, in the beginning, you may have a little bit of those feelings. That's normal. But ultimately, you're trying to get yourself in a financial position so that nobody looks like a dollar sign to you. Okay? So you can always do what's right. You can always do what's in their best interest. You can always, make the right decisions. Okay? So, add value by doing a financial recommendation sheet. These are all things that add value to what we do. Financial recommendation sheet. So we tell them, right, the foundation is protecting your family's financial future. We show them how much they need to save for college. Now, I know the F&A has all this stuff. But when somebody tells me they have $250, $300, $500 a month or more that they can set aside every month, then I'm going to definitely do a financial recommendation sheet, because this is the action plan. This is an action plan for the client to say, all right, this is what you need to do in order, and these are the immediate actions that you need to take. And then you make your recommendations based on that. It just gives you a little bit more credibility. It shows the client that you really care. It shows the client that you're willing to work a little bit harder than 99% of Primerica agents. Okay? And take that little extra step. So this is called a financial recommendation sheet. Alright, so let's get into killing cash value. You guys want to kill cash value?
Yes.
Alright, well I hate cash value. So anyways, alright. Let's talk about, this is what's called a pro and con sheet. Okay? Now all this basically is taking what the client is doing, the old policy, and the cons of the old policy, and then taking everything that's good about Primerica, and then looking at what's bad about Primerica. Being honest with the client and saying, look, in this particular situation, it's going to cost you an extra $9 a month, which is going to mean the difference of $1,080 over the course of 10 years. I'll find out what's wrong with their policy, but I'll also find out what's wrong with our policy. Because isn't that what we're really doing? We're weighing the scales. We're trying to find out what makes more sense. So with the client that says, look, I'm not sure that necessarily I want to go with you, go analyze my policy and then bring my policy back, analyzing that thing, I'll always bring a pro and con sheet. So that way I can draw a line down the middle and say, look, if you had a choice between this one and this one, which one would you feel would be in the best interest of your family for the long run? Make sense? All right? So that's you adding value and making sure that it's very clear and concise when you are making your recommendations. Remember, when you prepare, when you take a little bit more time to prepare and to act like you care, you will probably become more successful a lot faster. A lot of people like to cut corners. A lot of people like to do it real fast. A lot of people don't like to prepare. A lot of people don't like, right? That's why a lot of people don't win as big. Be different. I was one of the first people that, when we started coming out with F&As back in the late 90s, I was one of the first people that put my F&A, like I bought a binder. I mean, like a binding machine. And I put cardstock with a nice, with a nice F&A logo on the front. I wanted it to look nice. I wanted it to look special. I wanted it to look good for my client. You guys follow me?
Yes.
I wanted to look different. And you know what I found? Is I would go out there and they would say, oh yeah, somebody else from Primerica came over. And I said, so let me see what they did for you. Oh yeah, they did this F&A for me. And it was stapled at the top. That's what it was. Like 20 pages was stapled at the top. And it looked like crap. You know what I mean? It looked so unprofessional. And it looked so Mickey Mouse. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. We're Primerica, man. We are the largest distribution financial services company in North America. Are you freaking kidding me? You stapled it? I wanted to call that agent and just kick him in the ass. It's like, come on. Have some pride in what you do. Have some pride in what you do. Have some pride as an agent. You know, I mean, if you're an agent, have pride in the fact that we're so dang good in Primerica. We are so good. Primerica is so good. Primerica is so special. Protect our image. Protect us. Right? When you go out there, do what's right. And look good. You know, be different. You know most people don't care. They're just lazy and they just, they do stuff in lazy ways, you know? Be different than everybody else. It'll make a difference in your income, I promise you that. So the rule of 72, the power of compound interest. So, when somebody has cash value, all right, I go through the rule of 72 first. Okay? So that's the first thing I do, is I go through the rule of 72. The second thing I do is I talk to you about the number one savings account in America. All right? So, we go through Bank A. All right? Actually, this is in wrong order. I'm sorry. I go through Bank A first. Okay? So, average is 0 to 5% interest on your savings, 6 to 8% fee to withdraw your money, 6 months to defer your money. They keep your money, they keep all your first year's deposits, and if you die, they keep all your savings. So Sarah, if I had a plan just like this for you, could I get you to put your money into something like that? No. It doesn't look too good, right? I mean, that's not a good plan. Okay? All right, now, the reason why that's not a good plan, there's a reason why, okay? So Bank A is the number one savings account. Even though you would never put your money into that thing, it really is the number one savings account in America right now. Okay? And 8 out of 10 people own that product right now. Bank A, 8 out of 10 people own it, and over 220 million people own it. It's probably more like 250 or 300 million now. But 250 million people own that savings account. Okay? And so what that savings account is, what Bank A is, it's what's called cash value life insurance. Cash value life insurance. Now, the reason why, okay, why people buy that product, the reason why it's that product, is because, let me ask you a question, Sarah. If you had a need for $250,000 worth of life insurance, okay, would you rather pay $3,000 per year or $600 per year? Probably $600, I would imagine, right? Well, that is why. Okay, now if you were the agent and the client didn't know any better, okay, if you were the agent and all of your first year's commissions were based on that premium, what would you be more tempted to sell? The larger one. Well, that is why. It's the number one savings account in America, 8 out of 10 million people. That's why that happens. It's because cash value life insurance is a commission-driven product. It's commission-driven. People buy cash value life insurance not because it's better financially for them. It's because they have been sold it. Right? And you and I both know that you can make anything sing if you really wanted to. If you left out key bits of information, you can make anything look good. Don't you agree with that?
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what they do. They forget to tell you that this is the way it works. They don't tell you that your interest is going to suck in that product. They don't tell you that if you ever need your money, you're going to have to pay 6 to 8% to get your money out. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that if you need your money, they can withhold your money up to 6 months. They don't tell you that they'll keep all the first year's deposits. They don't tell you that. They say you're going to have a lot of money in retirement. And then of course they never ever tell you if you die they keep all your money. They would never, ever, ever tell you that, would they? No. Okay? Well, Plan B, this is the way a mutual fund works. On average, 7 to 25% interest on your money. No fee to withdraw your money. You receive your money within 7 days by law. First year deposits are credited immediately, and if you die, your family gets the savings. So if you had a choice between A and B, what's better?
B.
Every time. Okay? I mean, it's so simple, it's unbelievable. So let's talk about the 3 types of life insurance. Let's say for $200 a month, okay, you were spending. Javier, do you want to sit over here, man? Why don't you come sit over here, man? Because I feel like I'm blocking you guys over here. You can see fine? Okay. because I'm kind of tall and everything. So, so let's just say you have you're paying $200 a month for $250,000 worth of life insurance. Okay, the way that annual renewable term works is, of course, just like the name, it annually renews itself every year. Okay, so what's going to happen is that $200, as the years go by, that $200 a month. Now, what they're going to do, though, this is what's deceptive about it, is that they're just going to keep charging you the $200 a month. But internally, inside the policy, your premium is going to get higher and higher and higher. Okay? So whenever you take an ART, annual renewable term, and you attach a savings account to that product, it then becomes a universal life policy or a variable life insurance policy. Okay? So what will happen is that if you're only paying $200 a month, but your premium internally gets more and more expensive, where are they getting the difference? If your premium's $350 and you're only paying $250, where are they getting that $150? Anybody know? They're getting it from the savings. So what's happening is that through the years, I had a guy that I sat with years ago, and he thought that he was going to have $30,000 for retirement if he just invested in that cash value life insurance policy all those years. Well, come to find out, by the time I got to him, it had already been like 20 or 30 years or whatever. And so I said, hey, look, let's call the company. Let's see how much money you actually have in your account. $3,000. Wow. $3,000. He had the thing for like 20 years plus. $3,000 he only had. And the reason why is because he had annual renewable term, he had a universal life policy, and so they were stealing the money from his savings account to pay for his premiums. He never knew it. They do not have to let you know that they're taking money out of your account. Why? It's because the account is owned by who? The insurance company. The insurance company owns that account. You don't own your account. It's your policy number, but you don't physically own that account. They own that account. It's the property inside the contract. It'll say it's the property of the insurance company, so they are allowed to pull from that when they want to. Now, second type of life insurance is decreasing term. Same $200 a month, $250,000 worth of life insurance. What will happen is the $200 a month stays stable. $200 a month stays stable, but the $250,000 will actually decrease. And the reason why is because anytime you take a savings account and you attach it to a decreasing term policy, it then acts as what's called a whole life policy. That's what they call it, a whole life policy. All it is decreasing term with a savings account attached. Okay? So, what's going to happen is you're going to continue to pay the $200. So what will happen is as you start to build up cash value, okay, let's just say you have $10,000 in cash value. So that means if you die, you should probably get the $250,000 plus the $10,000, don't you think? Yeah, right. That would make sense to a normal human being. Would you agree, Andrew? Right? That's a normal. And but that's not the way it works, because we know Bank A is the way that this savings account works. Okay? So they don't get the $260, they get $250. Because they will give you the amount of they will give you the specified amount. That's what they are required to give you. The death benefit only. They don't say, we're going to give you the death benefit and the savings account. They say, we're going to give you the death benefit. And beware, inside of a universal life, it's kind of easy, because they have different options. They have option A, option B, so you can tell when they get their money or they don't get their money. See, in a whole life policy, that's not the way it works. When you're looking at a whole life policy, all they've done is taken out the language, okay? They have not, so it's not like they say you'll never find in a whole life policy you don't get your cash value. You won't ever see that. Okay? They just don't say you're going to get your cash value.
No, they omit it.
They omit it. So that's why they don't have to pay it to you. Okay? And then, of course, level term is what we offer. And because we offer term life insurance, it's less costly, okay, because there are no savings accounts attached. And so $50 pays for the $250,000 worth of coverage for the 30 years. If you, and this stays level throughout the duration of the policy, the coverage stays level throughout the duration of the policy. If you were to invest the difference for 30 years at 9%, that's $278,000. You show me a cash value of somebody that was only paying a couple $100 a month of $278,000, I've never seen it. You will never find, ever, will you ever see a life insurance policy with $278,000 in it. It just will never happen. Okay? Now, with us, have I seen a lot of clients with $278,000 in their investment accounts? Yep. You better believe it. I always tell clients, look, whenever you take your life insurance and your investment and you put them together, okay? Now the life insurance company have control over that money. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you buy life insurance and investments, always separate them. Because then that way, your life insurance is to protect your family, your investments is to get wealthy, okay? But there's no commingling. It's almost like whenever you run a business, I have, several businesses, and I don't ever commingle funds, right? So in all my, if you guys know I have the B code, the J code, and the C code. You understand that the money goes into separate accounts on those businesses. I never commingle money between accounts. Okay? Yeah, my business checking accounts. Yeah. I have separate accounts, business, and I also have I have a lot of checking accounts, but I have checking accounts for each business though, entity. So that way it doesn't commingle. Why do we know that most businesses would recommend, or most CPAs would recommend, don't ever commingle monies? Is that right?
Right.
Okay? So why would we commingle monies with our insurance policy? Okay? You should never put those two things together, because that's when they take advantage of you. That's when they mess you up. It's because now they can play with that money. So anyways, that's just, Okay, so ART, decreasing term and level term, of course, the agent makes more money on these products. And so, so look, 13 reasons why VUL is not right for you. Mortality and expense risk charge, collection fee, mortality fee, surrender charge, low interest rate, loss of savings if you die, reduction in death benefit of any outstanding loan, asset to sub-account property of the company. They can defer the payment of the loan up to 6 months. 1 withdrawal per year, surrender charge 15 years, pro rata decrease charge 15 years, processing fee 2% withdrawing money. Okay? So that's 13 reasons why you should never. Now, does our term insurance have all that crap? Does our mutual funds have all that crap? So why would you ever buy anything else? Okay? So this is a good little thing to show people. So anyways, this is a sample policy. This is, whenever you look at a policy, on the first page, flexible premium variable life insurance policy, you can see what it's called. So anything that says flexible premium, it's usually like a whole life. I mean, it's a universal life or it's a variable life. Flexible premium. Now think about this for a second. If you flex your premium, they can adjust your life insurance. Okay, so if you don't make a payment 1 month and they lower your actual coverage, okay, you could forget to make a payment, you die, your family ends up getting a whole lot less money. Are you with me? All right? When anybody can flex anything, that's a problem to me, okay? Especially when you're dealing with life insurance. All right, so this kind of gives you an idea when you look at the back page here. Okay, specified amount, $250,000. Option type is A. Minimum specified amount is what? $50,000. So the minimum amount, they can lower that policy all the way down from $250,000 down to $50,000. I think that's criminal, don't you? Okay, I think that's really criminal. Mortality expense, risk charge, collection fees. These are some of the things I showed you. They even have a surrender charge all the way up until 14 years of surrender charges. Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Having so if you're in the policy, you can't. If you touch that money, they're gonna charge you big money for 14 years. That's criminal. Okay? And of course, this will just show you. This is on the minimum life insurance rates. So this just shows you that every year the cost of insurance what? It goes up every year. So that's why we know it is an annual renewable term insurance policy. Let's see where I have some other circles. Okay. We reserve the right to defer the payment of any fixed account value for the period permitted by law, but not more than 6 months. So you see, remember in Bank A, it said within 6 months we can hold your money. We can defer that money for up to 6 months. Does this kind of make you pissed off a little bit? I mean, it makes me mad. I mean, it always made me really mad that a company is this freaking dishonest. Like that they will go to this length to screw and tattoo the American public. It's just wrong. And so this just shows you the option type. The option type was type A. It says, look, it says a specified amount. What's the important word there? Or. It says we're going to give you the specified amount. What was the specified amount? $250. Or we're going to give you the limited percent times cash value of the policy the date of the death. Whatever the heck that means. But if it's option B, it says the specified amount. What's that say? Plus the cash value on the date of your death. So now, what do you think most companies sell more of? Option A or option B? Now, it could be different. There are some companies, they'll switch it around. They'll say B is that one and A is that. I mean, they do all kinds of crazy stuff. So you got to really pay attention. And that's why when you're going over Bank A, if ever, don't ever say, for sure you lose your money. Just say, in most cases, you lose your money if you die. Because if you say all of it, and then you end up with that one time that they do get their money, it'll make you look like you lied, okay? Okay, so it says, look at this. Separate account provisions. The assets of the separate account are our property. Isn't that wild? It's our property, not yours, Jose. Even though you're giving us $200 a month, it's our property, not yours.
The separate account's the investment, right?
Yep.
Cash value.
It's the cash value, yep. Right? Reduce the result by the cash value on the month anniversary. What the heck is a month anniversary? They're like making up words in these contracts, man. I always like to show people that because month anniversary, man. That's just wild. All right, withdrawals, cash values may be made at the time of the policy year while the policy is in force. Only one withdrawal is allowed per policy year. So you can have only one emergency a year, okay? The amount of the withdrawal will be limited no less than $500 and to no more than 10% of the net surrender value. So you can only get up to 10% of your value. So if you have $100,000 in the policy, the most you can get is $10,000. The remaining net surrender value withdrawal may not be less than $500. The request for the withdrawal must be written notice. Proceed less than 2% of the amount. $25, and then they're going to charge you another $25 deducted each withdrawal. I mean, that's just wild. That just doesn't. Seriously, it's just so sad, right? Option A type specified amount be reduced by the amount of withdrawal. So that just means that if you take out $10,000 on the policy, all right, let's just say you take out $10,000 and you die, then that means that they will reduce the amount by $10,000. So they'll only give your family $240,000 because you had a withdrawal of $10,000. Interest on any loan will be 5.2%, payable annually in advance. Interest at each anniversary, interest not paid when due to add to the loan, or bear interest on the same rate. So, my advisor wants us to invest our money in variable life insurance, where we can avoid taxes. Would it be better to buy term life insurance and invest the difference in the mutual funds? Huh? What do you think? This is Money Magazine, by the way. This is Money Magazine. It says, in a word, yes. Here's why. Variable Universal Life is the most commonly oversold financial, commonly sold variable policy today. It gives you insurance in combination with tax, sheltered investments for retirement, but does neither job very well. That's because most variable policies are extremely, what does that say? Expensive. And what? Complicated. For starters, as much as 75% of the first year premium goes to pay sales costs, premiums, taxes, others, fees. According to Jim Hunt, Consumer Federation of America, you also face annual charges, cost of insurance, which vary widely, right? Can total 1.5% annually. All those fees explain why advisors love to pitch VUL and why most people should avoid the policies. As for the promised tax-free withdrawals in your retirement, well, they're really just loans against the policy, and they maintain tax-free only as long as the policy is enforced. In the event that your withdrawals in bad market conspire to shrink your account so low it doesn't cover your insurance charges, you may have to keep paying premiums for longer than you expected. If the policy lapses, your gains will become taxable at ordinary income rates. So what does that mean? You have this policy for 30 years. You generate $250,000 worth of cash value in there. You say, hey, look, I'm self-insured now. Get rid of the policy. All those gains in that account now become what? Tax. All of those gains become taxable. Okay? Like right there, you will get a bill for all of that money. That 1 year, you will get a bill. And so that's why we recommend putting your money in managed mutual funds. Okay? So much better. Should you buy a whole life policy? It says, when a policyholder dies, way down here at the bottom, when a policyholder dies, the cash surrender value reverts, which means what? Goes back to the insurer, which is who? The company. The beneficiary will receive only the death benefit. Why return to premium? Term life insurance is no free lunch. I'll send this to you guys. I'm running out of time here. Personal finance for dummies. Okay, in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to tell you to save hours of time and $1,000 ready. Buy term life insurance. The only exception, you have a high net worth, a couple $1 million or more. Okay, all this stuff is on the website. Okay, all these articles and everything are all on the website. So you can go there and download them. Because you know what? I'm just noticing right now, for some reason, some of these that I sent on this thing, it's not as legible for some reason. Keep being ripped off. This is David Ramsey. Rob's dad had 2 whole life policies. Rob, his brother, another on his wife. He had a mortgage. Rob was telling him about Dave's plan to get term insurance, cash it out. Dad thinks he won't get any value from cashing them out, but Dave stresses how important it is to do that. Dave Ramsey's advice. He's been ripped off for many years. And every day he keeps it, he gets being ripped off more. If he's been screwed for over 20 years, does that mean he wants to keep getting screwed over? This is the worst financial product that the middle class buys. Don't put money into a pocket that has a hole in it. Why would you keep putting money into a pocket that has a hole in it? Yeah, you might lose. Hey, look, there's some clients that they might lose $1,000 or $2,000 by surrendering the policy early. Right? They might lose a couple of grand because they might have started it a couple of years ago. So they have a high surrender value. They might lose a few. I've had clients that have lost a few $1,000s. Now, when they made 13% in their mutual fund last year, were they happy that they did that? Yeah. Because they made all their money back that they lost from the surrender charge. Do you follow me? Okay? Stop the bleeding now. You can't keep that stuff. It's nasty. You only keep it if you can get other insurance. Only keep it if you can't get other insurance and you need insurance. Get the cash value out, get rid of it, but only after getting term life insurance in there first. What does the Bible say about money? Man, we got all kinds of little Bible verses in there. Some people say, I want to pray about it, this and that, whatever. So you got some things that you can go back and talk to them about that. This is the way our new rating works. So make sure you take a look at this and you know this and understand this. This is how all the ratings work. So some products like Term Now, where you can get a policy issued within a day, Those products, you can only go up to certain amounts, and certain ages can get certain amounts. So be educated on that, okay? And then, of course, the rest of it is the rest of it, right? Beware of cheap insurance, accidental death. Company will pay out death benefit only if client's death is caused by an accident. Death certificate must indicate the cause of death was an accident. Only 0.09% of these policies are enforced actually pay out. Because of all these facts, is it no reason why accidental death insurance is so inexpensive? So it's really cheap. So you get what you what? You pay for, okay? Group life insurance. No access to a knowledge representative. No consideration of your financial needs. The policy may offer guaranteed coverage only as long as your employment continues. Annual renewal term. Most common form, right? This means the insurer has the right to increase your premiums at will. Group life insurance coverage is usually limited to 2 times your annual salary, which is well below the recommended. So people say, oh, I got insurance with your job. That's fine. That's okay. Keep it. If you want it, it's cheap, keep it. I have no problem with that. It's probably not what you need, though. It's probably not the amount that your family needs. So why don't we take a look and kind of see where we're at? Group life insurance is purchased through an employer organization. Often is controlled by the employer organization. Primerica Life, a licensed Primerica rep, works with you to choose the coverage. We offer affordable premiums. We don't limit the coverage you can apply for once issued. As long as the payments are kept, your policy remains in effect. Your Primerica policy is portable. You can take it anywhere. Guaranteed reinsurability. And, that means that you never have to requalify. Okay, we have an IBR, increasing benefit rider. Only clause is suicide. But after 2 years, the client can commit suicide and will still pay out. Okay, committing suicide is not recommended, but it's another option. F&A, we do F&As for people, okay? Death benefit payout. A death benefit payout is 5 times the industry average. So our company pays 5 times more life insurance than the industry. That makes you feel good, doesn't it? Right? How do we get paid? Anybody want to know how we get paid?
Yes.
All right, so let's just say you do an $80 a month policy. You take 80 times 12 months in a year. Okay? Minus 72, the policy fee, equals $888. $888 times 0.75, that's your advance. So we're only talking about advance numbers here. Okay? So that's your advance times, let's just say you're at a 50% contract. Okay, that's $333 that you will be advanced by the company. Okay, 4 $80 sales a month. PFA, $665. Senior rep, district, division, regional, and regional vice president. So that just gives you an idea. 4 $80 sales a month. So this is why I keep telling you guys to go write 12 sales a month. Right or wrong?
Right.
Because to me, this isn't enough money right here. That's not enough. Okay, take a chargeback or 2. This is not enough money. You follow me? Okay? That's why you got to think bigger. Don't ever listen to anybody that tries to lower your goals. Don't ever listen to anybody that tries to tell you that you don't have to do 10 grand. Yes, if you want to survive, you do have to do 10 grand. Okay? Especially some of you that are ready to go full time here real soon. You have to do 10 to 12 sales a month to survive. Because you take out a chargeback here to whatever. Now, hey look, granted, this is not counting your team, so you can earn more money by overrides and stuff like that. But I'm not counting on all that stuff right now when I'm going full time. Now, this does kind of get you excited if you're an RVP, right? And actually, that's a 110% contract, by the way. As a full-time, you do 12 $80 life apps. This is your advance. So division, your advance should be about $4,700. If you're writing 12 sales a month, $80, so that's about 12 grand a month. You're making $5,000 advance. That's not counting your earns. Okay, remember, every year, when we get paid a what? An advance. So that means that they're not paying us 25% of what we should have gotten paid. They're not paying it to us. You guys follow me? You're going to get that money, though, that extra 25% you're going to get in the 10th, 11th, and 12th months. Okay, that's how we get paid. Okay, so the division leader, regional leader, Makes sense to be a regional leader? At least you can survive. You guys follow me? You survive. You're surviving so that you can get to what? To RVP. Now, if anybody does that at RVP, that's a pretty decent amount of money, right? And again, that's not counting overrides. That's not counting having a team. That's not counting your team writing business.
And bonuses.
And bonuses and stuff like that, okay? Yeah, exactly. Bonuses also. So now, I didn't, because our contract changed, on the RVP, we get more now. But I didn't change all these numbers, so whatever this number is, it's a little bit more. Are you guys following me? All right, so it's whatever this number is, probably going to be more. So 12 personal sales. If you're an RVP, if you're a brand new guy wanting to go RVP, Joe, this is what you should do. You should do 12 personal sales, at least 10 grand a month. Make your $6,600 a month. All right? More than that, but again, you know what I mean? So 16 sales, 16,000 bonus on that. It's going to be a little bit less, so it may work out. It's probably going to work out a little bit the same, but a total of 10 grand a month. So that's with a little team. That's just with a little bitty team, right? Your team writes 6 sales outside of your 12 sales. You're leading from the front, okay? $30,000 base shop, right? All that stuff, about $230,000. So $30,000 base shop without securities, without anything else, minimum should be $200,000 a year. Anybody want to make $200,000 a year?
Yes.
I mean, seriously, I'm not kidding. Does anybody really want to make $200,000 a year?
Yes.
Everybody wants to make 200 grand a year. Okay, so if you really want to make $200,000 a year, then you're going to have to start working. Okay? It's easy to go like this. Everybody can do this. But will you get on the phone? Will you make appointments? Will you stay focused? Will you call people? Will you follow up with people? Will you actually do, for once in your dang life, will you actually do what you said you were going to do? Will you actually do what you told me, what you told your team, what you told your family? Will you actually do what you say you're going to do? Or are you just going to kind of hang out in Primerica for the next 20 years and continue to not do what you say you're going to do? Will you show up to every meeting? Will you show up to off night on Wednesday nights? I'm not talking about every once in a while. I'm talking about every Wednesday night. Will you show up every Wednesday night? Without excuses. Right? Will you show up every Wednesday night? Because to make $200,000 a year, you're going to have to show up every Wednesday night. You understand? You can't miss Wednesday night and then make $200,000. It's not possible. Okay? So are you going to show up? Are you going to bring people to Wednesday night? Are you going to actually call people today when you blitz? Because we're not going to have time for a blitz today. So when you blitz today, which hopefully, if I were you, I would get with my team today and go blitz with them some way, somehow. Go have some lunch or go get a bite to eat. Man, call an emergency meeting or call an emergency conference call or something like that and get everybody blitzing so that we don't, right? So we can blitz. So we make sure people are making the call. I would do the same thing tomorrow night too. I'd make sure on 5:45 tomorrow night, you're blitzing. You're the first one, Joe. You call your team, you do a little conference call, you say, man, every one of us together, all right, 6 o'clock, let's go. 3 hours, let's go, man. Whoever gets the most appointments, I'm taking you to lunch next week. Right? That's how you drive things. That's how you move people. That's how you grow teams. That's how you grow a business. Because look, if you got a team right now, and they're not doing anything, then that just means that you're not inspiring them to go do anything. What's our job as a coach, as a teacher, as a mentor, right? What's our job? Our job is to inspire people to go do more. Now, some people are inspired by lunch. Some people are inspired by competition. Okay, some people are inspired by different things. So you better find out what people are inspired by and go inspire them to grow and to move and to get after it, okay? It's $200,000 a year, $50,000 base shop. Right? Now, I don't suggest you get lazier. When I was doing 50 grand base shop, I was I was doing my, 10,000 a month, but anyways, 52 sales. A lot of your sales will probably come from your team when you get big. Your bonus, all that's $350,000 a year. And then you're going to start promoting out RVPs, you start producing leaders, come on. There's so much money on the table. Again, the problem is that this is the problem. Let me show you this real quick. All right, look at it. This is the problem. Right here. This is the problem. Most of you guys ain't full time. That's the problem. See, if you were full time, you got to look at this right now. Like Josh, you need to look at this, okay? And you say, okay, how much am I making at my job right now? All right, now I'm not even saying that you're going to replace it. But I'm saying if you're thinking in your mind, you're going, okay, how much am I making at my job right now? And is it really helping me to build my Primerica business? If the answer is no, then I need to leave that job and I need to go full time. Or I need to get a job that's conducive to me meeting more people so I can make more friends, build more relationships, so I can get more sales and recruits. Are you guys following me? Yeah. All right, if your job is hurting you from building your business, go get another job. There's a million jobs out there. And by the way, the things that you guys know and the things that you guys understand, the information that you've been given through the months and years, some of you understand you can get any job you want. There are so many jobs available. It's just employers don't want to hire the crappy people that apply. Do you understand me? Do you understand that? Do you understand right now? I quit Primerica and I go try to get a job. I guarantee I'd have a job within 30 days. I guarantee it. You know why? It's because I'm a stud. That's why. I'm a stud. And I know how to communicate. I know how to work with people. I know how to sell. And there's no employer in America that doesn't want somebody like that. Right or wrong? Right. The whole world wants me to be their employee, don't they? Wouldn't you love to have me as your employee? Think about it for a second, right? Now, maybe not right now, because I don't work as hard as I used to, but when I was on it, right? When I was on it, man, right or wrong. Okay, but if I had to start this thing all over again, you better freaking believe me, I worked my ass off to go build it again. Are you following me? Okay, but I'd be looking at these numbers and I'd be saying, well, if I'm a district leader, I could go make $4,000 a month. That's 3 dang sales a week. You can't tell me that you can't get 3 sales a week full time. You're lazy. That's the only reason why. If you're full time in my base shop right now, you're lazy or something is getting in your way. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. 100%. I know I just offended every one of you because none of you, other than Judy and Lewis, right? None of you are going to do that this month. But it's the truth. It's 100% the truth. Something is getting in the way, like your job, or you're lazy. And you're not working the big numbers that's necessary for you to be successful here. It's the truth. It's the God. You guys want me to be truthful or you want to lie? You want me to be truthful? You want me to tell you the truth? It's the truth. It's true. And you know it. Deep down inside, you know it. You know you're not talking enough. Deep down in your side, you know you're not really working it, man. You know you're not doing this 10, 14, 16 hours a day. You know you're not living, breathing, eating, sleeping Primerica right now. You know you're not. I'm not kidding. You know you're not.
There you go.
Now, if you don't want to be an RVP, don't have any pressure on you. I'm not trying to, you're just like, this is my first day, I swear. This is my first day. I'm not saying you got to do that your first day. I'm saying if you want to make $200,000, it's going to be a lot of work. Okay? It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a real legitimate opportunity. Isn't that what you want?
Yep.
Don't you want to know what you got to do to win big?
Yes.
So then you can just focus all your efforts on doing that. Why do you got to have all these different things that you're doing all the time? Why do you got to have your hand in this and this and this and this? But I'm doing this. I got to take care of this. I got to have this. Oh, I got to handle it. Got to go do this. Got to go do this, right? And you're always start, stop. Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to build my dang business, get this thing done so I can have freedom for the rest of my life. I got to do all that crap if I want to. Think about it for a second. It's only a couple of years, guys. It's only, 3, 4, 5 years of, just absolute focus, Virginia. And then you get free. Now, I know that it's not easy, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. I know it's not easy to be focused. It's not easy to be disciplined. It's not easy, right? I mean, really, is it? No. It's not. It's hard. Look, when you go home today and you plop your butt down on the couch and you watch reality TV, I mean, seriously? You guys know who I'm talking about. Right? When you go home and you watch TV and you waste an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours watching TV when you could be actually meeting somebody or talking to somebody or building a relationship with somebody or calling a teammate and having a conversation and doing some coaching or doing some whatever, or maybe it's just being on the POL and watching a video. If I were you, I would watch. I've almost watched every video on BOL, on the EPN. I've almost watched every single video. Why not take every night before you go to bed and watch one video? Every night before you go to bed, just one video. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know how many are, but one video. To make that, let's just see if anybody could do that. Let's see if anybody could do that. I want to see if anybody, if you decide to do that, write it down. So that way you can show me. Log it. You know what I mean? Write it down. Say, Daniel, I have watched something every single day for 6 months. And let's just see where you're at in 6 months if you made that commitment to get better, to self-improve, to really increase. Because you're not going to make it based on who you are today. You're going to make it based on who you become in the process. You are not, most of you in this room are not worth $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year right this minute. You're not worth that yet. Because you have, now you might think you're really, really good at the business. You're like, I know how to recruit, I know how to sell, I know how to, right? But somewhere along the line, you're missing something. Maybe you don't know how to build teams. Maybe you don't know how to build good relationships with people. Maybe you don't know, maybe you can't attract people. Maybe you're not, attracting enough people. Maybe, is there something that you can improve to become better? Whatever that is, go fix that. Because, we always want to focus on our strengths, but we also want to take care of our weaknesses too, because your weaknesses could be hurting you. And some of you have some weaknesses that are really, really hurting you right now. And if you don't shore it up, you're going to be kind of hanging around just, doing the deal for the next lot of years. And that's not, I don't want to see anybody in that position. I don't want to see anybody waste that much time, right, not achieving their goals and dreams. Because we already know that it works. We already know that it's possible. We already know that it's doable, don't we? We already know that if that guy over there could do it, if that guy could win over there, then I can too. I've always felt that way. And I think you should start feeling that way, Lucinda. You know what I mean? I think you should start feeling that way, going, man, if they can win, I can win too. Because I know you want to be an RVP. I know you want to do something great here. I know that you got something inside you that's different, that's special, that wants something so bad. To want to show this office that you're a champion. I know that. I know you're working. But what is it? Kind of like what I was talking with Jake this morning. What is it? We got to find it. Because if we don't find that weakness and shore it up, right, then we're going to be in trouble. Right or wrong? Okay. So anyways, but that's the deal. So full time. So some of you need to go full time. Some of you need to go full time, like real, not FOUL full time, or FOOL full time, right? FOOL full time. Yeah, not going that right, but actually FULL full time, like real full time.
I'm letting y'all build a business and not
What's
sell.
that?
I'm letting y'all build a business and not sell.
Glad I'll never have to promote you to RVP.
That's the thing.
Because before I went full time, I was in and out. I want to go on to just for fear of unknown if I should do it.
Right.
But now that I've been full time for a full month and a half, it's the most exciting thing.
Are you guys hearing what she's saying right now?
No.
Can you speak up a little bit?
I said before I went full time, Daniel knew that I wanted to go full time, and so I was saying yes, no, something. I was just there at the edge, but I was so scared. It was the fear of the unknown if I could really do it, and I would have anxiety attacks. And I did full time, so when I finally went full time, full-time, and I've been full-time for a month and a half. It's the most exciting thing that ever has happened. So if you guys just have the clear, so what ended up happening with me is that I knew I could make up the $3,900 a month. I knew what I needed to do. Even my first month, I was so full of anxiety that it just drove me to go do it. And once you move that forward, every morning I'm waking up more excited every single day. So if you guys are there, just do it. Daniel says, just do it. Just do it. Really, you'll feel better.
Well, great job. Great job. $50,000 base shop. I mean, a whole bunch of overrides, everything. I mean, that's, a couple RVPs, 3 RVPs with a 50 grand base shop. That's over $500,000 a year. See that, Eric? Can't wait, man. Year and a half, year and 5 months now? Is it a year and 4 months now? Or
Too long.
It's too long. It's all right, but it's coming, buddy. It's coming. So, all right, everybody. Let me just real quick. I just wanted to kind of end with just a couple of thoughts. I mean, this is our. How do I turn that off? This is the time. I mean, really, there's never been a better time to win in primary. We talk about the hard work, we talk about the focus, we talk about the discipline, we talk about all that stuff. And I know some of you kind of go, oh man, I don't know if I'm up for that. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to do that if I got to work that hard. So what you got to do in your life is you got to figure out what it is that you really want. You got to find out what you want. So what is it that you want? Do you want to make big money, work your ass off, and have a life of freedom, travel the world, do whatever you want to do? Is that what you want? If that's what you want, it's going to require a lot of hard work. Now, you might be somebody that says, look, Daniel, that's not really what I want. I just want to make an extra $1,000 a month, pay off my debt a little bit faster, and, get some education, learn about stuff. If that's you, that's okay too. So don't have anxiety about what I'm talking about here, okay? If your why or your want is different, it's okay. Every one of us came into Primerica for a different reason. You guys know that? Every one of us came in here for a different reason, a different why, a different purpose. Every one of us is different. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear about that. Because we want, Javier, if your goal is not to make $1 million, I don't want you to feel, right? Because you don't work that hard, so I'm assuming that that's not what it is. Not yet. Okay, all right, good. So, but my point is that we want you to stay here, though. Like, I don't want you to feel like if you're not making $5,000 a month, that we don't want you here. We want you here because you bring value to this team. You know how much value you bring to this team right now? By you sitting in that chair, you bring value to this team. Most of you don't realize it. Most of you don't understand how Primerica works. We are a team-building, environment-producing business. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
That's what we are. So when you don't show up, some people, they don't show up and they don't produce. So what does that mean? That means they're providing no value to our team, right or wrong. At least when you show up, you're providing value because you're filling a seat. If we didn't have anybody show up on Saturday morning, we'd have a lot of seats that were empty, which means that we have Judy and Lewis brought a new guest today, or new recruits, right? Well, what's your name? Richard. Welcome to the team. And you're? Inside? Welcome to the team. Can we give it to her? Sarah back there and Andrew, brand new. All right, first big meeting, right? So give it up for Sarah. I know you've been here a couple of times, right? But I just think that, like, if you understand that it's important that you're here today, Corey. You know why it's important? Is because Richard's here, and Sarah's here, and Andrew's here. That's why it's important that you're here. Now, of course, there's a lot of other reasons too, but that is a piece of how we build businesses. Everybody has a part to play. Everybody has something. Right now, Javier, because I know your life is crazy right now. I mean, you work like 18 hours a day in your job, and you're like, you know, you've got to do all kinds of crazy stuff to even get here. So I know it's nuts for you right now. So I appreciate that you're here right now, though, Javier, even though you're not doing anything right now. Okay? But hopefully you're here around here long enough, and you don't quit. Hopefully you don't quit, and you just keep trying to get a little bit better. You know? When you're taking breaks at your job, go listen to a Primerica video to fire you up, to keep you in the game and keep you excited. You know what I mean? But you gotta start looking for ways to transition out of that job, because that job is severely, steering you in the wrong direction of what you ultimately want. Because I think you do want to make a lot of money here, and I think you do want to be successful here. Does that make sense? So that's what we got to be thinking about. We got to be thinking, are the things that we're doing, the jobs that we're in, the situations that we're in right now, are they pulling us farther away from Primerica, allowing us to have more excuses of why we're not doing anything? Or are they, okay, now again, I mean, the only people that don't have much of a choice are, Corey and Eric back there. I mean, they're in the military, so they don't have, it's not like they're going to get up and leave, you know what I mean? Because that wouldn't be good. Don't do that. Okay, so, but doesn't that kind of make sense a little bit? I mean, if you start thinking, what are the things that are taking you away from kind of what's going to build your financial future? And it's really the financial future that's going to give us those freedoms and those options and those choices that are going to make our dreams come true. At least for me personally, I mean, I love that I'm able to give money to charities, and I love that I'm able to help our family. I love that, I love that we're able to get on a plane anytime we want and travel across the world if we want to. I love the fact that we don't have financial stress. I mean, I know that that's what kind of a lot of you guys want. And I'm just telling you that Primerica is the one that gave me that. It's not that I'm smart. Yeah, you're right. I can't really spell that good. It's Primerica that gave me that chance. It's Primerica that gave me those options. So I'm just so glad I didn't quit, dude. I'm so glad, man. I did not quit. When it got tough, when it got hard, when my coach wasn't nice to me, right, Tony? Right? When my coach, said stuff that really pissed me off, you know what I mean? And I'm so glad that I didn't quit. I'm so glad I didn't give up. I'm so glad I just kept trying to get better every day. I wasn't the fastest to the top. I didn't make it overnight, but I didn't give up. And the one thing that I always did is I showed up, I brought people to meetings, right? I mean, some of you guys, seriously, one of the things about bringing the food that we all got to be careful of is that I think that, we start bringing food, and I think that what I'm noticing is the people that bring food, they don't ever bring any guests. I mean, really, and I'm sure there's an exception to that rule. I'm not saying everybody does, but I'm just saying, you got to be careful. If it's your night to bring food, don't just focus on the food and not bring it. Like, oh, okay, well, this night I don't have to bring, like I see them running around, people running around, getting the food and making sure this is right. I'm like, wait a minute, how come you're not talking to your team? How many new people did you bring? How many people did you talk to? So you're spending time on the wrong... See, again, be smart. This is your business. This is your company. Every Wednesday night that goes by that you don't have new people here, to me, it used to drive me crazy. Because I felt like I wasted another Wednesday night. I felt like I wasted... I felt like I wasted a Wednesday night. I focused so hard. When people would tell me, oh, I can't make it this Wednesday, and they'd say, oh, can I just come next Wednesday? I said, no, it's only this Wednesday. I'm not kidding. I would tell them that. They said, oh, do you have meetings every week? No, just this Wednesday. Oh, man, this Wednesday is going to be the greatest meeting that we've ever had. Okay? I don't want to give people a choice. Why? Because I feel like I'm missing a Wednesday. I'm wasting a Wednesday night. You guys understand. I don't get up on this
I don't get up on Wednesday night just to talk because I like to hear myself talk. You guys understand this, right? I want to help you build a business. It's the only reason why I'm here. I was talking to Nelson yesterday. I said, look, the only reason why we have this really nice office is because I want to help you guys build a business. The minute you guys show me you don't want to build a business, then we close this shop up. We go open up a little tiny office, just like 99% of everybody in Primerica has. Little tiny. Remember, I went to an office one time. It had 3 rows of seats, just like this. This was their op meeting room. It was this big. It was like in a skinny building. It was like had 3 seats. That was a row. There was a row to walk down, and there was 3 seats, about like 30 seats back, but there was only 3 seats. That was it. So you walk in this room, and you're like, you felt claustrophobic because you walked in, and you guys follow me here? Okay? And I just think it's ridiculous because I went to Chris Howard's office, and of course, I was the guest speaker coming out. It wasn't a fast start school. It was just his off night. He had 45 new guests there. 45 new guests. When's the last time, Maritza, we've had 45 new guests here? Like never. Like never. I don't think ever. I mean, other than maybe years and years ago, but I mean, never in the last 5 years, guaranteed. Isn't that kind of sad? That kind of bummer. I'm here every week. So their guys were excited, so excited that they brought 45 people in that room. And their base shop's only a little $25,000 base shop, so they don't have a big. It's not like they're They have a 25 grand base shop, and that base shop brought 45 new guests. And we don't bring nobody. We bring 10, 12, 13. Out of all of us, we bring like 10 or 12. I mean, that's 3 base shops. Like the C code, they bring like 4 because they're so excited to build a Primerica business. And then the B code brings 9 because they're fired up. Man, we got like 50 people in the B code, and we bring like 9 people. Isn't that kind of sad? Doesn't that kind of get you thinking, wait a minute, right? Why are we not recruiting people and getting them to bring 3 people? They have a warm market, don't they? Don't they have people that we can bring to the meeting? Why are we doing that? Why is it that we recruited 30 people this month and we got maybe like 4 new guests? 4 new recruits in this room. We recruited 30 people this month so far. What are we saying? What are we doing? I mean, are we trying to build our business? So the advice I can give you young guys, you new people in the business, is when you, like this Wednesday night, bring a whole bunch of people. You know why? Is because you want to teach your people that that's what you do. So what you're trying to do, BJ, you're doing a great job because you got your new recruits here today. That's a great job, man. You recruited a couple people this week. You've got people back here. Let's give it up for BJ. Zara, he might have dragged you by the hair, man, but he got you here, didn't he? Okay? But that is the correct way to build business. So hopefully you'll learn, Sarah, that when you recruited somebody this week, when you get a new recruit, the first thing you're going to do. Did you learn something today, Sarah?
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of information, right? You feel better about Primerica today than you did yesterday. And that's the whole point of Saturday training. So you talk to your people, most of you talk to your people and say, hey, will you be here tomorrow? And they go, oh, I can't. And you say, okay, just make sure you're here on Wednesday. Instead of challenging them. Wait a minute, Ruth, let me ask you a question, Ruth. Do you want to win in Primerica? I mean, do you really want to win in Primerica? Now, do you want to make, because I remember when I asked you those questions and the new recruit, questions and stuff, you told me you wanted to make $5,000 a month. You told me that. Now, when you told me that, were you telling me the truth, or were you just making up? Were you just making up a number, or were you lying to me? Were you telling the truth, or were you lying? You promised you were telling the truth. Okay, so Ruth, could you tell me how you think you're going to be successful if you don't show up on Saturday morning? Could you explain to me how you're going to get the information to be successful here without showing up to meetings? So, Ruth, look, this is the deal here, okay? If you make a commitment to me that you'll show up, I will make a commitment to you to train you really well. Okay? I will give you everything. Because remember, I work for you. Everything that I do is for you. Is to help you become better. To help you become a better agent. To be more successful. To create your dream life. Everything I do is for that reason. Okay, I want you to know that. Do you believe that when I tell you that? Okay, so Ruth, could we make a commitment to be there tomorrow? Because if you continue to not show up, I can't spend a whole lot of time with you. Does that make sense? But will you make that commitment? Ruth, I believe in you. I know you can do this, man. I know you're a fighter, and I know you're a champion. I know you got a champion in your heart, and you want to do something great with your life. I know that, Ruth. Okay? So let's do it, okay? Let's make it happen, okay? Let's do it. Ready?
Ready.
All right, let's do it, all right? So if you have that conversation with your people, with every single person that doesn't show up on your team, do you think you could get a better turnout? Yes or no? Yes. So why don't we do that today? Right? When you're blitzing today, why don't you call up every single person and find out what they're buying? Because look, this is what I would do, is I would have a chart with all their names on there, okay? Just like we have the sign-in sheet, right? So what do? Everybody that I haven't seen in a few months or whatever, I cross them off the sheet. And Karma goes back and she erases them out of the computer. Because I don't want to talk to them no more. I don't want that sheet filled with people. I'm trying to fill that sheet with people that are serious. So that I can look at that sheet and say, these are all the people that want to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. Maria is who I'm going to spend time with. I'm going to spend time with you. I'm going to help you win, Maria. I'm going to help you do something. You call me at midnight and say, Daniel, I have a question. I'm going to answer your call. Because you're serious. I know you're serious because you're here right now. That's how you're serious. Now, you know how else you're going to show me that you're serious? Is by going on a lot of appointments and getting a lot of people here on Wednesday night. You guys follow me? That's how you determine who you spend time with. Is the people that show up to meetings, the people that bring people, and the people that go on appointments. It's easy business, guys. I'm sorry I kept you 20 minutes late, but I had some stuff on my heart that I needed you to know and understand, and I'm ready, man. We're gonna blow it up, man. We're gonna do something great. I mean, again, Judy and Lewis, you guys are awesome, but we can't expect you to be the only leaders in the, leading from the front. So we're asking everybody in this office right now. We got only a few days left. When's fly out?
Thursday.
What Thursday? Okay, so we only have till Thursday, guys. We have till Thursday. We gotta push it. Is that paper fly out?
Yeah.
Okay, so paper fly out. So really Friday at 3.
Right.
Friday at 3 o'clock is the last day. So when you're setting up appointments, when you're blitzing, set up one at 11 o'clock on Friday. You know what I mean? Like don't set up one at 7 o'clock at night on Friday. Try to get to them earlier if you can. Everything, try to push. Instead of setting up an appointment for next Saturday, push it till Thursday night. Push it to Tuesday night. Push it to Monday night. Have a sense of urgency. You guys that are new, sense of urgency. If you're talking on the phone, Sarah, say, look, I'm in training. I need your help right now. And they say, oh, I can't do it till next Saturday. Say, look, I need my training done by Thursday. So I need an appointment with you by Thursday. I need my training. Because again, you guys are going to try to help the team close out with some pride. Every one of us in the game, after it, let's get the job done. Do it now.